Yo, what's good, everybody? Today I got a little bit of a different video vibe for y'all. It's not gonna be goofy, saying whatever, doing whatever. It might be a little bit of that, I don't know. But today we are talking about, should you start on a 600, as my freaking thing's just going everywhere. All right, yeah, should you start on a 600? For those of you that are, maybe this is your first time here, or you just don't know too much about me or the channel yet, this is my first bike. This R6 right here was my first bike that I got a little over a year ago at this point in time. And yeah, this is the point of view of someone that started on an R6. So I feel like I have, you know, a little bit of understanding of if you should start on a 600 or not, because I started on one myself. And, you know, if you just want the short answer, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, you can. Obviously, I did it. Everything's been fine up to this point. So I definitely think anyone could start on an R6 or a Ninja 600 or a, you know, I feel like people can start on 600s. But with that being said, in the 600 class of bikes, there are differences in between them all. Like, for instance, the R6, I feel like for a starter 600 bike, the R6 is a good option. It's got damn near half its horsepower at the below like 8,000 RPM. So as long as you're just starting off, keep it at low RPMs and shift super early, you're gonna have a relatively tame ride. Like, you're not gonna be going anywhere quick. Like, for instance, if I just go ahead and shift up one more time, you can see me twist the throttle pretty hard, and we really are not accelerating all that fast. But go to that above 8,000 mark, different story. You get almost double the horsepower when you started getting up in the RPMs on this thing, because it's got like 50-ish or in the low RPMs, and then it's got like 118 or something like that up in the higher RPMs. So the power band on this is really different from other bikes as well. Obviously, you know, typically in most vehicles, your peak horsepower number is going to be usually kind of up in the higher RPMs, but just depends on the vehicle. I say the 600 is a great starter bike if you're wanting to get in on a 600 and not have to upgrade your bike and all that. So yeah. But for instance, something like a ZX6R, those have power instantly, damn near at any RPM. They're just in their power band. So that makes them a little more touchy when you're just on them in general. But like I said, something like an R6, you're gonna have, you know, a little less touchiness down low because it's not in its power band yet. I will say I was very intimidated when I went and bought this bike and I was getting ready to hop on it for the first time, because I just didn't know what I was doing whatsoever. I had rode things in the past, but that was when I was like way younger, and I never really fully understood, you know, how it all worked. So I was super nervous because I had just spent so much money on getting the bike. So when I first hopped on it in the parking lot, I just was super nervous about dropping it and all that. And knowing the fact that it was a 600, I knew that it wasn't a little baby bike, that this is a fucking big boy bike and you could go fast and it has the power. So I was definitely nervous, but don't let that overcome you if you do start on a 600, because it's really not as scary as you think. As long as you just use your brain and respect the bike, and, you know, obviously use your common sense, you and the bike are gonna be fine. You know, it's there are a bunch of new riders that do drop their first bikes learning, but hey, that can be fixed, man. That can be fixed. Most of the time it's slow speed and stuff anyways, so you're really not going to be doing very much damage, hopefully, to your bike. And that's besides the point. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I definitely do understand why some people start on 300s and smaller lightweight bikes. I've heard a lot of things from people that have started on those smaller bikes, and they got to really fine-tune their techniques and everything with a smaller, lighter bike with less power. And I can understand that aspect of things. So if you want to like have a bike that you can really throw around, get used to, and really ring it out, maybe a smaller bike is what you need. But for me, financially and stuff, it just made more sense for me to go ahead and get an R6, a bigger bike, a 600, because I knew from just being like a car guy and stuff like that, that yeah, I would enjoy having a 300 or a Ninja 400 or something like that, or R3. I knew that it would be fun at first, and I would enjoy the fact of being on a motorcycle. But I also knew that I would get tired of it really quick. I knew that I would be like, oh, well, I can only go like 100. I could only accelerate this fast. Like, I knew that the end goal wasn't necessarily to keep that bike for very long if I did get a smaller bike. So I sat there and I pondered on that for a little while, and I knew that I really wanted an R6, so it just made sense for me to just go ahead and get the R6 and grow into the bike, and that's what I've done. I got a Cadillac passing me. They're just gone. Oh, I thought they're about to go for the van too. That would have been scary as shit. I don't know why they're trying to go so fast. I'm going 5 over the speed limit. I'm not trying to get no more tickets, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I fucking completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. So, you can definitely get into a bigger bike and grow into it. Shit, some people start on 1000s. I really don't recommend starting on a 1000 though. Me personally, I've never even ridden a 1000, but just really ringing this bike out, it still is like, shit, this thing's quick, like, and I just don't think you need all that power available to you unless you're a bigger person. I don't think you need all that power available to you when you're starting out, because you're not supposed to. You're just not supposed to. You don't want to touch that much power while you're trying to learn the fundamentals of riding a motorcycle, because it could just be one little false move or one little incident where you think you're more comfortable with the bike than you are. And on motorcycles, man, it's easy to go fast. So especially on a 1000, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable. So you just gotta not start on a 1000, please. 600 is as much as I would go, or other bikes around the same class, you know, like you can maybe get like an MT-07 or something like that, but those have a lot of torque, so I don't know that I would necessarily say to start on that, because you could definitely, you know, scare yourself with bringing up your front wheel on those. But 600 or lower is where I would start for a bike. That's just my personal opinion. You can obviously do whatever you want, but that's my personal opinion as someone that has started on a 600. For those of you that typically tune in for my more goofy, laid back type of videos. I do apologize. Obviously, I will have more of those coming out after this, but I just wanted to make a quick little informational video for the new riders getting into the scene that may not know what they need to hop on for their first bike. And also, I know that not everybody that hops on a motorcycle is a fucking speed demon. So, you know, you just want to be on a motorcycle for the fact of being on two wheels. So, me, someone that likes to go fast, you might have a completely different opinion and might just need to stick with a smaller bike if that's just something that you like. Like, you just want something to commute, something that's cheap, save on gas and stuff like that, then shoot, maybe a smaller bike is the way you need to go. If you don't want something super fast that you want to cut up on all the time, then maybe a smaller bike's for you. It really just all depends on you, your thought process of why you're riding, and your skill level and your knowledge of yourself, of just knowing what you want. Take those things all into account. Obviously, you can use some of my words and things that I've given you in this video to make your decision, but that is completely up to you. At the end of the day, I'm just here to try to give you some of my knowledge and thought processes on the whole ordeal. So, hey man, you know, do what you want to do at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I can't think of too much more. I can't think of too much more off the top of my head. I wish I had a little bit more knowledge on this whole ordeal. I wish I had a wider variety of motorcycles that I've been on. There's probably much better should you start on 600 videos out there, because there's people that have ridden way different, more varieties of motorcycles than I have. So I do apologize if this wasn't what you were looking for. This is really different for me. This isn't my usual style content, so I do apologize if it just isn't up to par with what you were thinking. I may be able to remake this video in the future once I have more experience on different varieties of bikes, so I could give you more insight. But with that being said, man, I tried to help you out as much as I could with my knowledge of motorcycles and how it was for me starting out on an R6. So that being said, I love y'all. I hope y'all made your decision based on this video, because if so, that's cool as fuck that I could help you out. And I fucking love you, and I'll catch you later, brother.